Okay, so today we continue with our Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and today is class number 6. And we start with Chafetz Chaim lesson a day, and we're on page 25 on the top. So it's and it says God explicitly directs His people to love each other and cultivate in themselves the bond with all Klal Yisrael. Okay, so that's explicitly in the Torah. We have to love each other, and we have to be like together. So a Jew cannot be a Jew by himself. Okay. The fundamental of this requirement is that he conditions his own love upon it. So if we love others, he loves us. Very interesting. HaShem concerned himself not only with how the Jewish people serve him, but also how they served and support each other. So basically, a Jew cannot be good, like dedicated Jew to to Hashem and bad to other Jews. Cannot be. In fact, a Jew cannot consider himself a true servant of God if he is not also lover of people. Okay, for example, some people you're not obligated to love, some people you're obligated to hate, but most of the Jewish people we're obligated to love. Each Jew is integral and integral to the whole, and no one is expendable. So if Hashem created such a person, whatever person is it, maybe not with the best manner and the best character traits. I mean, it's up to the person, but don't say that Hashem made a mistake, right? He created that person for a purpose. Chazal illustrate this point in discussion of this of the incense that was burned on the offering on the Beis HaMikdash. That's what we learn in the morning. We read these pieces in the morning, right? Hashem instructed the Kohanim to prepare it from the blend of spices. All of the spices are fragrant, except for one, which had a pungent, unpleasant aroma. So all of them nicely smell, and one of them is disgusting. But if the incense were prepared without all of the ingredients, including this malodorous one, it is unusable. So same is okay. I mean, they're going to draw the conclusion. So basically, if one of the elements is missing, or if proportion is not there, so it's not kosher incense. Like the incense, the Klal Yisrael must also come to Hashem as a whole, as a blend of all its ingredients. Interesting. There is God's prerequisite for a relationship with His people. So meaning that he does not need some people, He wants all of the people. Of course, if they do not want to come, so it's a different story. But at least we need to consider everyone. And through the laws of the Torah, He provides each Jew with a means of cultivating this sense of love and unity. Right. So if Hashem created that person, so we must love him unless directed otherwise. For the theme of Ahavas Israel, the laws of Shmiraz Halashon flow. So that's how this laws of Shmiraz Halashon. So it's connected with the love of another Jew. So basically, we cannot talk bad about another Jew except some condition. We're going to learn this condition. One condition I'm going to tell you, give you one example, that it is for a benefit of that person. So if you know, for example, somebody is doing something wrong, and you know that that he is very close with his cousin or with his uncle, and this guy is not going to listen to you, but if you ask his uncle to talk to him, so there is a big chance that he's going to listen to his uncle. So, but it's not against that person. It's not against speaking. So your point is not speaking bad about that person. You want to help him, and the only help is through the influence of another person, his uncle.
Okay.
So that's one of the example. All right. So let's stop here. And
look, about the Chofetz Chaim.
yes.
So what I like to do, because I know there's like it's like a lesson a day, right?
Yes.
So if we can, maybe I can like the introduction by myself, and we can start with a Chofetz Chaim lesson a day, like day one.
Okay.
Next session.
Okay. All right.
I feel like
I agree.
This I can read, by myself, but the lesson a day, at least we can discuss it and things like
Okay.
that. Like
all right. I agree.
questions about that.
No problem. I agree. No
Okay.
problem. But make sure just read it carefully. And if you have any questions, please ask me. Or if you want your own insights, and if you want to make sure that you understand it correctly, so just run by me.
Right.
There is no problem. So
absolutely.
Okay. So I agree. No problem. Starting next time.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Okay.
Very nice. So okay. So we're on page 19 of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we are finishing the laws of the morning Nitalas Yadayim, which was very informative, I guess. Very interesting. Okay. So
for sure.
So CF number 9. This CF contains the list of activities that render the hands unclean, and thus a person engaging in these activities must clean his hands before studying Torah or praying. So, but not it's very important point, not for any other activities, right? So studying Torah and praying. In addition, most of these activities are also the Ruach Ra, as we said, bad spirit, to rest upon the hands, and therefore they must be washed without delay to remove it. So don't go with this Ruach Ra around. Okay, walk around. Okay, so commentary 41 and 42. Except for taking off his shoes and scratching his head, meaning what? So when you scratch your head, or you scratch your whatever, you scratch your elbow that usually covered, right, or whatever your right, or your leg, you scratch your leg. So it's also there is no Ruach Ra, right? But in other
so you can pray and study with that.
You have to wash you have to wash your hands, but there is no Ruach Ra. So you still have to wash your hands, but there is no Ruach Ra. We said this bad spirit.
Right, because it says that.
In addition, okay, go ahead.
No, just because the way I understand it is that it's the activities that renders the hands are unclean, and thus a person engaging in these activities must clean their hands before studying or praying. In addition, most of these activities, except for so basically, you can study or pray if you take off your shoes or scratch one's head. Is that what they mean?
No. If you scratch, when they say scratch your head, it means that you actually scratch your skull. If you just touch your hair, you don't have to wash your hands. Or if you touch your head like under the kippah. So why? Because this place, as we said, we get definition, places that are usually covered. So
right, I understand. But are they saying that you can't pray or study Torah?
Yes.
Or you can't pray and study Torah if you do these things? These are the things that you can pray. So if you scratch your head or take off your shoes, you can't study or pray Torah.
Yes.
Or pray.
Yes. No. Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So
right.
let's read the sentence. It's a very good question. Let's read this sentence one more time, and then we clarify further. So it says, in addition, most of these activities, meaning activities that we're going to discuss as follows, and also cause the Ruach Ra to rest upon the hands. Right? And we said exception taking off your shoes right? And scratching one's head. Okay, continue.
So the Ruach Ra does not rest when you do that, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, but still you have to wash your hands. It's like in additional
okay,
that the hands are impure. Like after we're going to read what person does. So it's going to add Ruach Ra on top of it. So it's Ruach Ra. It means like a deeper level of impurity. Impurity could be different in different levels. Okay. And therefore they must be washed without delay to remove it. Okay, 42. The Mishnah Brura 438. However, having a Ruach Ra on one's head does not prohibit him from praying or studying Torah. Okay. Thus, one who does not have the water, without which the Ruach Ra will not be removed, can clean his hands with material and pray. So meaning with something like dry, like a towel, dry towel. Later, when he obtains the water, he must wash his hands with water to remove the Ruach Ra. See Mishnah Brura. So basically, properly. So today, I'm not sure. Probably most of the cases it would not apply to us. So the water is readily available everywhere. But if not, I don't know, whatever, some crazy situation. So in that case, so you can rely on just wipe your hands. Okay. Sorry. Performing any of the following activity requires one who engages in them to wash his hands with water. Okay, so let's quickly see 43. The requirements to pour it 3 times over each hand applies only to the washing upon awakening in the morning. Okay, so only 3 times in the morning. Some authorities, however, are required after visiting the cemetery in engaging in marital relations. Okay, so me personally, I always do 3 times, just in case. Okay, so continue. Wash.
Question. So, it's a question about one thing. And in the shul minion, and all of a sudden you're praying and you scratch your head, like you just do it under the whatever, like something.
Yes.
You have to stop and go and wash your hands, then come back.
If you okay, all right. It's a good question. If you're allowed to stop. So if you're in the middle of Shmona Esrei, you do not stop. You do not stop.
You do not. Okay.
No. So, but in all other cases, if you, just try maybe to put this hand. If you can stop, if you have enough time, so you stop.
Right.
If not, you can rely on Mishnah Brura and you do not. So put your hand in a pocket and don't take it out.
Right. But if you're studying Torah, you obviously can't stop. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Most of the time, but not always. For example, now we're learning. I cannot just stop and do whatever I want. Right. So, but after time, you become so careful with that, so you're not going to do it. It's always I'm telling you, it's going to be always on your mind, not to do it. You understand? So it's for sure. Just give it time.
Okay.
So 1 second. Okay, so it's 43. Continue.
It's the scratching of my head is easy because I just always use a yarmulke to scratch.
That's it.
Like sometimes I'll have an itch on my back, and like just over the I'll scratch.
So it's under if it's under the short, that's the problem. Yes, if you want to learn, yes. So if you scratch over the short, there is no problem. So that's the definition of a places that are usually covered. That's the exact definition. There. Okay. So you usually you have a short, right? So it's usually covered. Okay. So let's see. So one more time this sentence. Performing any of the following activities require one who engages in them to wash his hands with water. One who arises from bed, okay, as we learned, And even in the morning, I just said it doesn't say, but even not even if you have a nap, right, you still have to wash your hands. Leave the lavatory, right? So we went to the bathroom or the bathhouse. So meaning you just took a shower, you didn't go to the bathroom. You took a shower, so you have to wash your hands. Commentary, but with the shower it's simple, like straightforward logic, right? Because you touch the places that usually cover you. You wash your head, you wash yourself, so that's clear. 44. Even one who is merely enters but does not use the bathroom or the bathhouse is affected by Ruach Ra and must wash his hands. Mishnah Brura. So that's a stringent opinion, right? To wash if you go to the bathroom. Usually people don't do it. If you want to go be stringent, you can do it. If not, if it's not obligation, and I explain you why. Because our bathroom is not exactly the bathroom that Mishnah Brura was talking about, right? There's nothing. It stays like underneath. So in the bathroom the Mishnah Brura is talking about is when there is a hole in the ground and all of these things stays there forever. So it's not exactly the same. So even though they say could be some particles in there, so maybe yes, maybe no, so we can rely on lenient opinion. So if you need something from your medicine cabinet, so you just can go in and take it. You don't have to wash your hands. Okay, just a little side note. Okay, continue. Cuts his nail. So every time you cut your nails, you have to wash your hands. Or even if somebody cuts somebody's nail, right? So that person whose nails were cut has to wash his hands. Not the person who does cutting. Okay. Next one, cut his hair. Okay. So he has to wash his hands. Takes his shoes off. Okay, so 45. This is true only if he touches them to remove them. One who removes the shoes without touching them does not have to wash his hands. Mishnah Brura. So basically, if you have this slip-on shoes, right? You know this slip-on. So I mean, there is no reason why you should touch them. If you want, you can touch, but basically most of the time you don't touch them. So in this case, you don't have to wash your hands, unless if you have this shoes with shoelaces. So it's a different story. You cannot take them off without touching. Okay. Engaging in marital relations, also you have to wash after that. Touch allows. So it's especially in olden days, but today it's not common. But it's these lies have a special impurity in them. Not any other like insects. It's very interesting. Delousing garment. Delousing garment, and if you know what is it, but it's killing the lice. That's what delousing garment. I think they did with some kind of smoke or whatever they did. What is it?
I don't even in my head.
Say it again. What is it?
Wait, the thing with lice?
Yes. Yeah. So delouse a garment. So delouse a garment. I said.
Okay.
So I said it's.
Louse means to
To kill the lice in a garment.
That's what it means?
Yes.
I was wondering what the louse meant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's from olden days. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very common in olden days. Even if he did not touch the louse. Okay, even if he did not touch, but whatever, it's okay. Scratching his head, as we said, but as we said, scratching not his hair, right? But his scalp, scratching. That's scratching means. Touching his body places where they're usually covered. That's what we were discussing before. 46.
Right.
Certain area of the body are considered halachically to be usually covered, regardless of how people in a region dress. So they might all of them, I don't know, in Miami, I don't know where like they all of them walking in shorts and t-shirts. It does not make any difference. So this these legs, the open part of the leg, is still the part that is usually covered for us halachically, right? And short sleeve, it's also usually covered. Others depend on a prevalent custom, but okay, we don't go with that. For the further discussion, see Orach Chaim, Mishnah Brura. Okay, Bir Halacha. Okay, continue. Leaving the cemetery. So usually when you go to Jewish cemetery, when on the exit is a cup to wash your hands. Right? So it's like impurity everywhere, of course, on the cemetery. Commentary. It is customary for one who attends the funeral not to enter the another building before washing his hands. Mishnah Brura. That's very strict. Like in my family, in other families, it's always strict. Okay. So meaning.
Your family is also religious?
No. I mean, it's not a religious. I mean, of course, it came from religion, but with this, they were always strict. So basically, we would always like take water with us and wash on the cemetery. Okay.
Right. Yeah,
Do not leave the cemetery with this impurity on your hands, even if there is no cup. Like, okay. Attending funerals or enter into covered area in which there is a dead person. So even what they say, even in a funeral home. So for example, you're not planning to go to the cemetery, but you need to go to the funeral home. So that's you go, and after you exit, so you have to wash your hands. Or area in which dead person. I don't know if you go to the hospital and when there is dead people, okay. Section where dead people are, morgues, right? And one who is undergone a bloodlet. No, go ahead.
Yeah, how far is the cemetery? Like, how far is the cemetery? Like,
okay, so
where is the point of that? Like, so if I go into the cemetery, obviously, like, where I'm looking, that I understand. But like, as you leave, sometimes like this little path right before you actually leave the whole cemetery. Like, is there like a certain amount of feet away from like the near?
Exactly. So they exactly yeah. So it says that 4 amos it's approximately 7 to 8 feet. And to the last grave.
It's the same distance. Okay, got it.
To the last grave. So it could be. I mean, if it's a very old cemetery, it could be up to the exit. Right, so I have like all of these graves. Up to the gate. Okay. So you have to leave the gate and walk wherever, and then only then you can wash.
Right.
And next one is one. Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You know this. One second. Okay, and the last one we say bloodletting, and one who undergo bloodletting. So bloodletting today, if you donate your blood, for example. So after that, yeah, so we don't do bloodletting today, but if you donate your blood, so you have to wash your hands. Okay. So we are up to Sima number 3, and subject is laws governing putting on one's garment and proper bearing. It's very interesting. Contain 8 seifim. Okay, seif number 1. It is written in Micha 8:6 to walk modestly with God, with your God. Interesting. To walk modestly with your God. So it's not so to walk modestly and dress modestly. It's not just a good thing to do. It's actually basic requirement. Right? Just so. Therefore, a person must conduct himself modestly in all his ways. Thus, when putting on or taking his robe or any other garment worn directly on his skin, right, such as commentary such as the underwear or pajamas, right, he should be very careful not to expose his body. Rather, he should put it on and take it off only when he is lying on his bed covered. So that's a little strict opinion, but unfortunately, not too many people, including me, adhere to this opinion. But that's the halacha. You understand? So it would not be visible. Even as we said, you're alone in your house and stuff like that. So don't do it the day one when you feel you're on a level. So you can do it. And he should not say, "Here I am in an innermost room and in the dark. Who will see me when I am not fully dressed? For the glory of the Holy One, blessed be He, fills the entire world. And the darkness is a light before HaShem. May His name be blessed." You understand? So that's when you understand that HaShem is everywhere, so everything changes. It's like you always you feel yourself that you've been filmed, right? Furthermore, acting with modesty and bashfulness brings a person to feel submissive before HaShem. May His name be blessed. That when you are bashful in front of HaShem, that's, as we were talking about this, it's one of the attributes of a Jew, to be bashful. Okay, so continue. I mean, that's straightforward. Okay, see if number 2. It is forbidden to follow the tradition of idolaters, and one may not imitate them, neither in modes of dress, nor in styles of hair, and the like. As the verse of Vayikra 20:23 states, "Do not follow in the tradition of the nation that I expelled before you." Okay, so let's read commentary and we explain what does it mean. This refers to the nations of the land of Canaan who engage in immoral behavior. So today's, if you heard Rabbi Reuven a few years ago when they just came out with these skinny jeans, you know these tight pants.
Yeah, I know them.
Okay, so basically, and somehow it's penetrated into Jewish people culture. Not like more modern or stuff like that.
I even seen like the renouncing. So not that. I mean, some of them are really tight. I'm just like, what? How are they wearing that? You know. But oh yeah, like I mean, I've seen people wearing them, and I've seen like people in Jewish people wearing them.
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate. So, and Rabbi Reuven was fighting always against it. Rabbi Mizrahi also. So basically, that's the following one of the things. One of the problems is that following the ways of going. That's what we're not allowed. So okay, so all of the way even men, Jewish men, we're talking women, different story.
Right.
But even men, Jewish men has to dress very modestly.
Yeah.
Like modestly respectable, not fancy schmancy, respectable and modestly. Okay. Elsewhere, the verse also states in Vayikra 18:3, "Do not follow in their traditions." And in another context of the verse states, Dvarim 12:30, "Beware for yourself, lest you be attracted to follow after them." So don't do whatever they do. Right? Don't go to the places where they go, to all the circuses, all the theaters, all of the stadiums. Let them go. Right? And don't follow their tradition. So it's one of the proofs. Don't celebrate the Thanksgiving, for example. Right? They do Thanksgiving. Let them do Thanksgiving. All right. The prohibition applies only to the practices that are marked by lack of the modesty, only applies to the practices that are marked by lack of modesty, or may have their origin in idolaters' rituals. Okay. So, but for sure, these skinny jeans, it's for sure it's a very modest.
Right.
In commentary, it is not forbidden to follow customs that have clearly developed in for a specific benefit. For example, it is permitted for a physician to wear doctor's coat, right? There is no problem, so that as to be recognized as a professional. So that's not the problem. Or we have to wear some pants. So if pants you pay whatever you buy them from Macy's, from other stores, so there is no problem as long as they're modest. So it's just wearing the pants or a short. It does not mean that you're going in their ways, right? So it's don't. So basically, they're saying just use your head. A person should not wear the article of clothing that is designated by the other nation to convey haughtiness, such as the garment worn by dignitaries. So today maybe it's not that obvious, but in olden days it was like dignitaries, all of this I don't know, colors and like you cannot miss that this guy has this high position. Today is not so obvious. An example of this is the case mentioned in Gemara, that it is forbidden for a Jew to imitate them, even with regard to the type of shoelaces that one wears. It's very strong, like right? Okay, so let's give example. This means that if the manner of the nations was to tie it one way, and the manner of the Jew was to tie another way, or if it was their custom to wear red laces, and the Jewish custom were black ones, right? Since the wearing black is a mark of humility, self-effacement, and modesty, it is forbidden for a Jew to change his custom to that of the other nations. So all of this, and another thing today, I mean, it's not today, I don't know when it started, this happy socks.
Yeah.
So the guy could be like in all black and white, and there's this crazy socks. It's unbelievable. So that's also, it's very modest, very inappropriate. That's what the goyim do. So you want a brown socks, you want a green socks, that sock, but just solid color, like maybe some whatever, some decorations, but I don't know, but not too crazy, not happy socks. So it's going in the ways of going. From this example, so I actually on that video when Rabbi Reuven said this, so there were so many people were against him. The people never get to page 21 in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. You understand? It's not him. He just say what halacha is, right? And it's not. It's From this example, each person can learn to apply according to his own place and time. That any garment designed to convey haughtiness or immodesty should be not fashioned or worn by a Jew. So whatever it means, like sometimes like people, younger guys, they would keep, I don't know, like three buttons open in a shirt. There's not 3 buttons open. So everybody know that this guy is working out. So in case you're going to miss. So it's also immodest, right? Rather, his garment should be fashioned such as they bespeak submission to HaShem, self-effacement and modesty. Okay, so that's the basic case. So you don't have to look like homeless. Otherwise, opposite is true. You have to look respectable. So as a Jew, you're son of HaShem. You're prince. You're son of HaShem. So you cannot look just disrespectful. So people just modest. The halacha is expressed thus in Sifri, Parasha Re'ah 29. Re'ah, I'm sorry, not Re'ah. You should not say, since the others go out dressed in purple, I too will go out dressed in purple. Since they go out adorned with armor, I too will go out adorned with armor. Okay, for these arrogant and haughty practices. So I like all of the warriors. I like all of these things, whatever they do. And they have no place within the nations of Yaakov. There is a Jewish nation. So I would say maybe today, just my guess. It's from nowhere, just my guess. So maybe like to work in this army uniform, right? And all of these things that are like army like. Like they have jacket, they have pants, they have like maybe that's also like a little haughty.
I think maybe like anything that like attracts attention,
Yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure is a modest. So if it's attracts attention, that's for sure is a modest, right? But we're talking about okay, yeah. Rather than so yes, of course, if he wants to attract attention, so for sure it's this haughty practice for sure. Yes. Rather, their manner and custom should reflect modesty and humility. And they should not turn to the arrogant nations in imitation of their ways, right? Likewise, anything that a non-Jew practice is a custom and an unexplained tradition, such that there is to be concerned that it is contain traces of idolatry. We're going to explain it right now. The Jew must refrain from doing that thing. Let's read commentary and we explain. It's a very important point. There is no apparent reason for tradition, and that there is reason enough to suspect that has idolatrous roots, but that they were forgotten. So it's actually they explain everything what I want to say, but just to elaborate. So basically, if they say that we're doing this and this because of that, this and that, it happened in 1825 and this happened. Okay, so basically, if you know that's the explanation. So in some cases, it's not idolatrous tradition, so you can do it, right? So it's not idolatry. But if they do not know why they're doing that, that's the problem. So if they have any logical explanation, doesn't matter how crazy it is, right? And everybody agree on that explanation, or majority of the people agree, so there is no problem. Meaning that it's not idolaters, it's like developed like 4th of July, for example, right? So you know exactly. So there is no problem to celebrate, but Rabbi Mizrahi always say have a big lecture on 4th of July.
Yeah, I was at his lecture on New Year's Eve.
This year. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So okay, so all right. So and he always gives good blessings to all of the people who instead of
it was good. I slept very well that night, that's for sure.
Baruch Hashem. That's a perfect choice. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So and it says so a Jew must refrain from doing doing this thing. Okay. But on another hand, like I just want to add from myself. So Jewish life is so rich, so busy. So when exactly you have time to imitate this goyim? If you have time, it means that you don't do something that you must do.
Right, you're not toiling,
Yes. There's so many things. Okay. Likewise, he should not cut his hair, nor should he grow his hair of his head like them, meaning like the goyim, whatever it means, like whatever the haircut they like. Rather, he should be distinct with them in his mode of dress and speech. So and speech also. So if just because they curse every other word, so it does not mean that or they use like some other foul language. It doesn't mean that we can do the same, right? So it's also way of modesty in speech. Okay, in his mode of dress, speech. Okay, we said, and in the rest of his actions, just should be very different. Not very different. I mean, if it's mother's goyim, I mean, it's you don't have to be too different, but with others, just stay as far away as possible. Just as he is distinct from them in his belief and in his character traits. This injunction is imparted in a verse, as it states in Vayikra 20:26. I have separated you from the nations to be mine. So it's a very important point. So HaShem said many times. So one of the things, it's from a previous parasha, when Yaakov said, I want to settle in this Goshen, separate area, right? And that's what Yosef also knew. Stay separate. Jewish, separate. Don't mix with them. Right? And Hashem said, don't be like them. You're my children. Don't be like them. Okay. So next one is number 3. One should not wear expensive clothing, for this bring a person to feeling of haughtiness. So I'm not sure, like maybe some brand names that the short is I don't know, like I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe $400 short. I don't know. It sounds like crazy stuff. One should also not wear very inferior, dirty clothing. That's also is a big issue, so that he is not be humiliated in the eyes of the others. Rather, he should have clean clothing of average quality. So whatever you buy from Macy's on sale, it's good. So one guy told me,
what's like dirty clothing? Like if it's stained?
Yes, stained or smelly.
Smelly. Okay, so as long as it doesn't smell, it's like, okay, so I go to work. I work in a very like the environment where
it's dusty,
dirty, it's filthy.
Yeah.
Like I can't wear I don't.
No,
comfortable clothing. Like I wear sweatpants and I wear like a sweater.
Yes.
And sneakers.
Yes.
But when I go out anywhere else, like if I'm not working, then I dress up. Pants,
exactly.
So. Because I was worried, I was like, well, I'm going to work. Do I have to dress up for work? Everywhere I go, I have to dress up,
So I would say in this case, if you just wear the baseball hat or some hat. So don't wear keep wearing the sweatpants. There is no problem. I just
wear a hat. Okay, I got
baseball hat. There is no problem, right?
Okay, good.
So, okay, that's okay. So
there's a part of me also, like I'm wearing sweatpants and my TTs are out, and I'm like, I wear my baseball cap, but I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm being hiding my kippah, so I take off my baseball hat.
No,
I can wear my baseball hat, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So maybe it's especially if you get your clothes stained and stuff like that, so it's not appropriate for a Jew to do. Okay. But on one hand, on another hand, there is no problem to do whatever you do.
Right.
You understand? So sometimes I do like a handiwork job. Right? And I have to paint. I have to do the deal with cement and stuff like that. Of course, I'm not going to go in my white short. Right. It's obvious. So I go in short, but it has some stains, so from a previous painting, right? Whatever, right?
So yeah.
So okay, but I don't go there with kippah. Okay. So I put first the kippah will fly off. Yeah, I have to bend this way, that. Okay.
So you put on a hat.
Yeah, it's a baseball cap. That's it.
Right. Okay.
So okay, so it's covered all base, and it's not that I'm trying to hide it, but maybe it's not going to be respectful, right? Because Jews don't. Okay, so don't provoke anybody. Okay. As a rule, one should be prepared to sell even the beams of his house, and use the funds to obtain funds obtained to buy shoes for his feet. So that's how important to be like shoes. When a person walks barefoot, especially in olden days. Today for us it's like shoes. It's not a big deal, right? You buy shoes like from time to time. But in olden days, to get a pair of shoes, it was like a big investment. It's like lifetime investment. So you buy them and then you fix them, and then you pass to somebody else, and it's for generations basically. There is nothing more degrading, number 9, degrading than walking barefoot in public. So, but just my own comment. So in the countries where there is no problem, when everybody walking barefoot, so there is no problem. So one example I can give you, for example, when we learn halacha, so it says, for example, in all of the Arab countries, right? They all over go like, well, not all of them, but most of them, especially in olden days, they went barefoot in public. So, and according to some opinions, so a Jewish woman can walk barefoot in public in these countries because it's normal for them. It's not like okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, but today, of course, it does not apply, and it's not normal. So some like savages still walk in barefoot, but not so. So for a Jew, it says it's very clear. I mean, he's a little dramatic, but just to show us the point. That's Jew cannot just look like a bum.
Right.
It's not. It's a disrespect to our Father in heaven. That's it. So you're representative of the Father in heaven. You understand? Okay. So continue or stop. Tell me.
No, we can go.
Okay.
It's only 12 minutes.
Okay. So okay. So number 4, since we find that the Torah considers the right side is more significant with regard to the temple service, which must be performed with the right hand, and with regard to the applications of the thumb and the big toe in a service of the inauguration of the Mishkan, we're going to explain, and the purification of the Mitzorah, or let's stop here. So first of all, let me ask, are you lefty or righty?
I write with my right hand.
Okay, Aruch HaShem. Oh, you right? Okay. But the other...
Yeah, I'm a righty.
Righty. Okay, righty. That's good. Okay. So basically, so in a temple, a coin cannot serve there if he's lefty.
He can't serve if he's a lefty?
No.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, okay. So let me see. So in so this note number 10. So there is no explanation, but basically they have to put blood right on his ear, right ear, and right big toe, like on his foot. So all right. So basically.
So wait, if a Cohen is a lefty, are they like kind of like they lose their high priest?
No. Okay. Here's the thing. So there are a few things that we must know about Kohanim. So first, they have a privilege to serve in the Beis Hamikdash, and they used to have this 24 watches, right? And they so meaning that each person is going to serve like twice, or 2 weeks a year, I think. Right. I'm not sure if you were consecutive or a week and then another time. So basically, okay. So basically whatever people bring on that week and whatever is belong to a coin, some parts of the sacrifices belong to the coin, or some things that they bring to the Beis Hamikdash belongs to the coin. So that's their payment. They take it home, right? Well, you take home some things they have to eat there with the family. Okay. That's one part, and second part is where the whole nation were obligated to give to Kohanim. Right, so it's like first 2% of your produce, and then Levite get 10% from this guy of the produce, and then he has to give 10% from what he got to the Kohen, and some other gifts. Or another example, Pidyon Haben, right? Pidyon Haben, you have to give to a coin these 5 silver coins. Okay, so basically there are, or if somebody got like a firstborn animal, so he has to give it to a coin, stuff like that. Okay, so even though he's not going to serve in the temple, this lefty or some
he could still do like
yeah. This it has nothing to do with that. And plus, he can eat. For example, if his brother is serving in the temple, he can give this coin.
Right.
There is no problem. I mean, there is some qualification. What only he can eat, what his family can eat. Okay, other coin, but there is only temple service he cannot do.
Right.
Because many things he has to do with his right hand, and it's he's very uncomfortable with his right hand.
Right.
Okay, so continue. Purification, Mitzora, also with his right hand. So I'm continue after note number 11, which I applied to the right hand and the right foot, and with regard to the mitzvah of chalitza, okay, in which the chalitza shoe must be removed from the right foot. So basically, Mitzora starts from the right, and Chalitza. Chalitza is I'm not sure if you heard about it.
I know what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
I learned about it in Kedushin.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so basically, okay, so here Kitzur Shulchan Aruch discusses all of the things that must be done with the right hand, with or from the right foot.
And that has to be the right, so like the right hand.
Yeah, so why is it preference? Okay, so 12, literally taken off taken off of the shoe. This procedure releases the widow of a man who died without children from the obligation to marry one of her deceased husband's brothers, Yibum, brothers, and allowed her to marry whomever she wishes. And just a side note, so actually Yehuda were allowed to do chalitza with not chalitza, Yibum with this Tamar. So in olden days they were not before the Torah was given. So chalitza was prevalent not only between the brothers but also with a father-in-law. Just side note. Okay. Continue. In which case chalitza shoe must be removed from the right foot. Okay. Continue. When getting dressed and in other activities as well, one should always give precedence to the right over the left. Always. Okay, so number 14. For example, one should put his right sleeve of the garment before the left. Also, when bathing, one should wash his right side before left side. You understand? So if you start, okay, so you so you of course you start with your head, but then you start with your right hand and continue down. Okay. Okay, continue. Conversely, so those are not just suggestions; those are laws, right? Jewish laws. Yeah. So just conversely,
are these laws also? Is this like laws for men or like laws for
women?
women?
No, for women also.
For women too. Okay.
Some out of these. So let me think. What exactly we learn exactly for men only? I don't know. Same as women. If she touch her shoes and she now she wants to pray, she has to wash her hands.
I got you. This Kitzur is mostly for everybody, like
everybody. So okay, so if you want, so you just told me. So if you want, I can keep in mind and say that this applies only to men. But so far, it's all of them apply to men and women. Whatever we said here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Conversely, when taking off the shoes and the garment. Okay. So as we said, so shoes you put your right shoes on, right, and then left shoe. But you tied your left if you have shoelaces, so you tied your left shoelaces, then the right, and then when taking off, you do it in opposite in reverse. You untie your right shoe, then untie your left shoe, and take off your left shoe. Okay. Conversely, when taking off one's shoes and other garments, he should take off the left shoe or side of the garment. If you're taking off pants, so same. First, since taking off in this order also gives respect to the right side, as it remains in more honorable state if being dressed for a longer time. So it's very beautiful explanation. So being dressed, it means very honorable. You understand? So even this, okay, what is the difference in 1 second? 2 seconds difference. When you're taking off your shirt, still these 2 seconds, you give more respect to this right side. Okay.
Right.
However, with regard to the article of clothing that require tying, The left side is considered more significant, and we're going to see why. Since the tefillin is also tied into the left arm. So that goes by tefillin. 15. By giving precedence to the left with regard to the time, he showed that the mitzvah of tefillin is dear to him. Right? So okay, so I don't tie my tefillin now, but still I remember how that I tie my left shoelace first. Very interesting, right? A left-handed person who puts tefillin on his right arm should likewise give precedence to the right side regarding other articles of clothing that require time. You understand? So one more time. 1 second. A left-handed person who puts tefillin on his right arm. So he puts tefillin on a right arm because it says that you have to put your tefillin on your weak arm, and weak is whatever for him is a right arm, right? He should likewise give precedence to the right side, right, to the right side. Regarding all other articles of clothing require time. Okay, so meaning on the right first. Okay, 15, continue. 1 second. Therefore, when donning any article of clothing that require time, he should tie the left side first, whatever is it, doesn't matter. Although the right side is put on first. So meaning with the shoes, the example of the shoes, so you put right shoes, then left shoe, then you tie left shoe and tie right shoe. For example, tying the shoe with laces, he should put the first right shoe, but he should not tie it, right? He should then put on left shoe and tie it, and afterwards tie the right shoe. So exactly as you said. The rule is of this given precedence to the left when tying also applies to article of clothing as well. 16, and we're going to tell the story. Other opinion differ with Kitzur and maintain that the precedence is given to the left only when tying shoes, not other articles of clothing. Okay, so it was a story. If you know the story, stop me. So I tell you another story. So I think it was some time ago. It was a young guy in Israel, and unfortunately I don't remember how the whole story started. But
I think Rabbi Reuven told me he was a military guy.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So
it saved him because they put his commander found out that he was going back to the barracks to constantly change his shoe because he kept forgetting.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he put him in prison for that. And then the whole I heard, Rabbi,
exactly,
I was shocked. I was amazed at that story. That's really good.
Yeah. It's
so ever since then, I've been. That's the reason I started putting on my shoes the other way. And every time I forget, I come back and put it on. Like I take it off and put it on. So and
it's such a small mitzvah, right? Such a small, tiny, but sometimes it saves lives. And and just because we do not know, right? It does not mean that it does not save lives, right? So HaShem does it in a background.
When we're 120, we'll know everything.
Yes,
we'll know exactly what happened.
Exactly. Okay, so number 5. One should take care to avoid putting on 2 articles of clothing at once. It's very important, right? Because this has a negative effect on causing forgetfulness. So and same with taking off 2 articles, right? Putting on sometimes people wear 2 sweaters or two t-shirts. I don't know why, but well, or 2 socks when it's too cold, right?
Yeah. I've done that.
Yes. Okay. There is no problem whatsoever to wear 2 pair of socks or 3 or 7, whatever you need to wear. But just take off one at a time, or put on one at a time. Okay. So number 6, it is forbidden.
All right. Can we